Hi everyone, happy Saturday. I did get the video done today, as long as I can get this last piece. It's funny, I'm filming the start of the video at the very end, but that seems like the most appropriate in this case. Hope you're having a good weekend. This is going to be a very pieced together video. I had to film in sections as I was swatching stuff and moving from different products. As you could see from the thumbnail, this is a large supply haul over the course of 4 months of stuff I've acquired. There is stuff even missing from the thumbnail because I bought a few things on Prime Day after I took that picture. One of them you can see here, actually 2 of them you can see here. So for those of y'all that are new here, first off, welcome. What I typically do in these videos is I put chapter jump links in the description with all the products so that you can, if you don't have time for the whole like hour and a half that this is going to be, you can look at that and then just jump to the section of a product you're interested in. I realize not everybody has time for the whole video, so I put those in there so y'all don't have to sit through to whatever point you're waiting on. You can just go do what you need to do and move on, right? We are all about efficiency here. And so with the supply haul videos, what I try to do is I don't just show you the product and then move on to the next thing. I try to swatch everything but one product is swatched in this video, I believe. And I try to do that because I want you guys to see what colors are available, what it looks like when it's down on paper, is it water soluble, and how many colors are available, and all those different things, because this is where I bought it and I want you to make a more, and I like everything I bought. I don't think there's anything I bought that I was like, meh, you know. There was like one thing where I was kind of like, yeah, this probably was a little excessive, like it's not really giving me anything benefit of the cheaper type item I bought, but I'm happy with everything I bought. But you know, sometimes buying stuff can be a real you don't know what you're getting, and so I try to inform people as best I can. There are going to be times where I have a picture to show you during the video where I've already used it on a coloring page. When that's available, I've tried to show that, and yeah, just to give you as much information as you need. I don't swatch on camera. This video would be twice as long and then some. But I do show you the swatches on here, and the goal is to eventually, you know, show me demoing a lot of this stuff on camera if I can get to that. Though there are plans. There are plans in place. Now, can I do them? We shall see. So so yeah, if you don't want to listen to any more of this, you can go ahead and jump to the products and get started. But one thing I did want to put out there, just because I need to be advertising it more in my videos, I do have an active tag going on right now. It is Watercolor Summer 2023, and it is any picture that uses a water-based medium or you're using water in the picture. So Crayola Super Tips would count, ink tints would count, watercolor pencils. This Graphitint is water soluble, as you'll see later on. These are water-based brush tip acrylic markers, so technically these would count. Anything that's got water in it, like these Pitt pens and so on, would count. I'm really flexible about it, whether it's on a coloring page, like a digital download coloring page, or in a coloring book. It is going through the end of September, so it's a 3-month tag. I have not checked it yet this month. Hopefully you guys remember it's there. I just want to keep reminding everybody. I also have a co-host now. Tammy from Tammy Colors 2 is joining me, and I'm going to put a link to her channel below. and really excited. I love having co-hosts for this, and she said she's already got some ideas too, and that's what I love. Each year I try to do some different stuff, and I feel like well, technically two if you count the Disney pages I've done with this stuff. The 2 or 3 pages that I've done is actually probably more than I did last year. No, that's not true. At the end of the year I did more watercolor pictures, but each year I try to do some different stuff. Like this Wednesday I'll be demoing some of the products on a Watercolor Wednesday Color and Chat. The next week I will also be demoing, hint, hint, some of these products for another Watercolor Wednesday kind of thing. So actually trying to do that and looking forward to that. And so I'd love to make Watercolor Wednesday a thing for the next 2 months. We shall see. It may not be every Wednesday, but I want to try at least 2 or 3 Wednesdays out of the month to be able to demo something watercolor based, even if it's just a quick video showing you guys how I use it on a coloring page. So just want to put that out there. That is still going. I'm going to check the tag at the end of the month. If there are a fair amount of pictures, we'll do a showcase at the end of the month, and it'll be on the end of the completed pages video. If there's not a lot of pictures, I may just wait till next month and then do like all 3 months at the end or something. Do like a big separate video. Okay, without further ado, let's get started with all these goodies so that I can finally put them up. Let's get started. Alright, so now I'm going to cover, I guess, some decadent watercolors. These are all from Dreamland Watercolor. It is a where they make usually like iridescent, shiny type watercolor paints, and I think like pigments you can use on different things too, like actual pigments instead of just watercolors. The one downside to their site is usually when they have collections, they'll open them up to pre-order for a set period of time. You order them and then they get the materials together, make it, and ship it to you. It typically doesn't take very long, maybe 3 to 4 months total between the pre-order and receiving them. But because the limited way these go on sale, unless she has like some left that she has discounted in her store, or she brings back another collection for another sale. A lot of times these are kind of like one-off grabs, which is why I have so many now, because I'm easily tempted. But I had picked up 3 different collections in the span of time I've had in between supply hauls. The Folklore collection, I believe, was the first one I got. And this came in a real pretty little bag. I want to show you guys the packaging. These show up in these really pretty shimmery kind of cubes. Probably the actual color of the paint. Now me, I do love some iridescent shiny paints. I have way too many as it is, but they do have the names of them on there, so I did want to show you guys the packaging in these before I open them up and show you guys the swatches. Well, and so they just fit into each tin like this. This one has Dryad, Sprite, Pixie, Will-o'-the-Wisp, Cobalt. I think I wrote that down wrong. What did I write it down as? Lowbald. Sylph, Nymph, and Nisa. So there's the Folklore collection, the Soulmate mini series, which was just a set of 4. This is Faded. I read that as farted for a minute there. Boy, my brain is tired today. Kindred Spirit, Soul Tie, and Twin Flame, which looks really interesting. And the cool thing is with each of these, you get some little samples as well. I basically just gathered all mine together in a pile over here, and I'm probably going to swatch those out as well. And then this last, I think the Soulmate one came in the same email as this one. The Major Arcana, I don't know, set is actually, if I'm not mistaken, the Supershifters set updated. And obviously has been renamed, and I'm assuming it's going to be released in like a part 1 and a part 2. So here are those, and these are like the High Priestess, the Hierophant, the Magician. Boy, there's been a lot a lot of tarot related stuff weirdly in my life lately. And actually I have an idea of where I want to use these first. Maybe for the color and chat Sunday. We'll see. But I already have an idea where I want to use these because I haven't used them yet. Of course I haven't. So to show you quickly the ones I do have. So I have, and I've got them activated for a reason. This is the Shapeshifters. That's also something way different, Michelle. Supershifters and Botany set. So, and I may have them mixed up because it's hard to go back unless you keep that email to know what the list is of the colors. So I think I've got them sorted between Supershifters and Botany, but I may have a couple stuck in Botany that are supposed to be in Supershifters. So these are supposed to be part of the updated versions of these. So it will be curious to put these on paper and compare them all. Then I have the Witchcraft collection, which is a set of 8, more kind of pastel-y, not super bright shades. These were definitely something I needed to add to my collection because I tend to go towards the more vibrant. So I had just randomly swatched these on a whole bunch of different pages. So I've created a page where I'm just going to swatch them all. And I put the Super Shifter right next to the Major Arcana, so hopefully I can compare these. And we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to open these up, swatch them out. Actually, I'm going to show you how they swatch out right off the bat. Because when I first got them, I was a little confused as to what was happening. So let me... Alright. Beta, whatever that one's supposed to be. So here I am. I've just put a couple drops of water. There we go. A couple drops of water in there. Just loading up my brush. And look at that. Now, to you, that looks like kind of a black, but to me it is a dark purple. You just got to shine it in the light. I don't know if I can get it. There it goes. You can see it just a little bit. Once that dries, it should get a little bit better shimmer on it, but that definitely come up as like a rich purple color. There we go. Y'all can see a little bit of it there. So yeah, it was getting a little frustrating at first when I was first swatching these because I would lay them down and on camera they all looked like black, but once they dried and you could show like the iridescence in them, I'll be curious to see how the updated set compares to this. So I'm going to swatch these, open up the rest, swatch those, let everything dry, and then show you guys the new and then what my old ones look like as well. Alright, well this was a project and everything got bright again. Dang it. Like just a couple hours changed and suddenly everything's overly bright. There we go. Alright, so I swatched everything, old sets and new sets. I need to let these sit out and dry a little bit longer. So if you were curious about the colors of the new sets, once I've got them unwrapped, this is the Major Arcana. Real pretty, glittery, vibrant colors. The Folklore, and this was the reason I picked these up, was a pleasant surprise because these are more pastel colors. And I usually go for the bright, vibrant colors and not typically pastel, so I kind of needed some of these for my collection. And then the Soulmate mini series are these really luscious, like vibrant colors, and just, of course, my lighting just doesn't do them justice. These are like super sparkly. Alright, now let's see if you guys can see the sheet. Okay, it's not too terrible. So you can definitely tell like the difference in the newer sets versus the older sets. So the Folklore, the pastel-y set is right here. I love that orange color. Until I dropped some drips on the paper. These are all the little samplers that I got, which are also mostly just lighter colors. You can see some of them are iridescent. These are the Soulmate. Those are the really sparkly ones, like that Twin Flame. They're beautiful in that faded color. Like, these were colors I really didn't have. So the major Arcana, I don't know which way to say it, like I said, are supposed to be, I guess, an updated version of maybe the Supershifters. And I was trying to compare colors, and I think they are. I just think I've got some of mine mixed up down here. But these are like luscious colors, very much so. Like, if they are an update of the set, then it's obvious they are definitely an upgrade. I don't have all the colors yet. That's probably where like the second series and other series will come out. The Botany set down here has a little more lighter tones to it. And then the Witchcraft set down here also has some pretty unique colors. So I have a couple ideas. I was thinking of using these. There was a page or two I had in mind that I might try these on. That might be what I do for the Color and Chat Sunday. We're just going to have to see how the week goes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do another watercolor picture that quick, or we'll just have to go with markers. So, alright, so in terms of, no, this isn't all the watercolors I bought, but in terms of not on Amazon, like just buying from online from Dreamland, this is what I have here. With the other two sets I have, I feel like I keep saying I'm not going to order anymore, and we know how that goes, but I do feel like at this point I don't need to order anymore because I have plenty of colors, and they're not cheap. So hopefully this swatch sheet will stay current for a while. And like I said, when I first laid these on, you could tell like they all look kind of black, but as they dried, that was where we get the really shiny colors. So there you go. So just a quick interjection here. After I swatched all these, I decided while I have them out and the next thing up that you're going to see, I wanted to go ahead and start that page I was talking about where I had some ideas. And I figured I'd give you guys a sneak peek. I'm hoping to make this maybe like a Watercolor Wednesday video, and show you guys like at least the watercolor side of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get the rest of the pictures done before then, but we're going to try and turn that into kind of a color and chat. So this is out of the Kawaii Tarot coloring book, which I haven't had a chance to color out of yet, and this is the full section. So to give you kind of an idea, it's a little, you know, obviously depending on how you put it in the light shows what colors you actually see. So I ended up using like the Twin Flame and the pearly color. I don't know what I did. I put that swatch up, so now I can't remember. But like I used mostly the Dreamland watercolors on here, and the next thing you'll see are the Kuretake watercolors. I have a gem color set. That's where this purple came from. And then the gold is from the gold and silver set. So as you can see, it's very shiny. When I was first putting this down, I wasn't too sure about it. I did have to use 2 coats of the Dreamland watercolor, particularly up here. But for a lot of the stuff down here, I could just use 1 coat and then go in and touch up. But it was just a few of the colors like that. The Kuretake went down smooth, a good smooth 1 layer. So I'm going to finish this up with some black marker, because that's part of the swatch I'm using, which is this one with some added colors, of course. And probably Neocolor 2s or something as a base with pencil on top, or just pencil. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, wanted to show you what these look like on paper. They are beautifully shiny. They did a really good job. I want to get better at pictures where I'm just putting in shiny elements instead of making the whole page. And this one, you know, I went a little over the top, but that's fine. It's turning out really nice. So sometimes that's okay, you know. And just really wanted to test these out, as I hadn't really colored with any of these types of watercolors before. So just wanted to show y'all that. Alright, so the other watercolor type thing that I got is this Gansai Tambi, the graphite colors. And so there's like a red, yellow, green, blue, violet, and a brown. So crack this puppy open. Now I do have, I think these are, others are also Gansai Tambi. They're Kuretake. And so like my other watercolors, I'm going to put them all on 1 page. And I'll show y'all the others that I've got. So here are the Tambi that come in this clear case. So it's kind of a paper palette with the little plastic pans. And they're actually decent sized pans. Again, I have a lot of bright and vibrant colors, so I was looking for some different type of muted colors to use. So like I have the gem colors. I think actually I always have swatches with them. Actually, I kind of wish this one had come with them. Oh, you know, I think I created these. Okay, so that might be what I do. So like this is the gem colors right here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, is just, I made my own swatch. I did a strip. Actually, it's pretty smart. I should probably do something similar with my actual little Dreamland watercolors, is create a little swatch for each. But I think for now we're just going to keep them on page. Anyway. So I have like starry colors, I have the gem colors, I have the pearl colors, and now I have the graphites. So I will need to get a strip and swatch those. Let me go do that now. Alright, I think everything is dry, so I went ahead and created one of my little random strips for the, and it's still drying just a little bit, but I think you can see this well enough. So obviously these aren't shiny, these are more of a matte finish, and they're darker than, like I said, way darker than I typically do. I really saturated these swatches, so I will be curious to see, you know, I can probably get a similar color on a page, but like how dense do I want to go with this color will be, there's a gnat flying around, sorry, with having the door open during the summer with it being humid, they're just, we've got a couple things up hopefully to deal with them, but they're a pain. And you know, not a huge shade difference between them all, but just enough. I'll be interested. I'm kind of feeling like a Hannah Carlson page maybe, with trying one of these as a background. We'll see. But I also put them on here, and I went ahead and swatched my others as well, to get the really dense color that I was looking for, and also just to have them all on one page. So like my Dreamland watercolors, when I go through my watercolor swatch book, I have these all here on hand. And so here's like the pearl colors, the gem colors, and the starry. And what I like about these is they're shiny and they're really stunning colors, but they're not super, like, they're not iridescent, they're not super bright and sparkly. They're a little more muted than maybe like the Dreamland ones. I'm thinking about a page where maybe I combine some of these. I'm not 100% sure, but like maybe using this 903 with a couple of the Dreamland watercolors on like a sunset. Just testing them out. I have an idea for a page. If we don't do it this weekend for the color and chat, it will be probably the next one or the next watercolor related video I do. So there are all the watercolors I've gotten in the last few months, and hopefully I've been enjoying using watercolor pencils, so I'm hoping I have an opportunity to use my actual watercolors more this year as well, particularly these specialty ones that are like shimmery or shiny or pearlescent, and because I haven't used those very much, and like the metallics and everything, so I'd like to use those more this year, for sure. So on to the next thing. Next up is a set of watercolor pencils. I've really neglected the ones that I have over the last year or two, and I want to get back into using them because I really enjoy using them and have a lot of fun. And they're just so darn easy to use, for me at least. But of course, instead of going, hey, I'm just going to go back to my sets, I splurged for another set. So Carnad'ache has a few types of watercolor pencils. These are the 76 Museum Aquarelle. I think these are their high-end set of watercolor pencils, and I wanted to try something like one of the downsides, depending on the type of watercolor pencil you have, is the saturation level, right? Like oftentimes you want to use it as a base because the color can be light, because it's a watercolor when you activate it. Ink tints is different, obviously, because it's more of an India ink in the pencil, so you get a more saturated color. But I want that I want that saturated color in a watercolor pencil. So I saw these. It might have been on Krista's, one of her supply hauls. I'm trying to think. Coloring Corner. I can't remember. I have to look because I don't want to say it wrong. But I think it was hers. She had bought these, and she was showing the comparison between them and a few other watercolor pencils. Somebody was. And I had never seen these swatched. Yeah, it's Krista's Coloring Corner. I had never seen these swatched, and the fact that they were so saturated really intrigued me. So I splurged for these. My only complaint is, honestly, I want 100 or 120. I know you can mix colors. I am well aware of that. And a lot of people enjoy doing that with a limited set of pencils. I just, when I color, I don't feel like I have a lot of time. So trying to play around and mixing colors is just not like on my list of things I enjoy doing. I'd rather just have the colors at my fingertips. I know I'm spoiled. A lot of you artist types are probably, clutching your pearls over that. But you know, everybody likes to color in a different way. Everybody likes to do art in a different way. So, and we try to stay accepting of all types of colorists here at Kits and Caboodles. Feels so weird when I say it like that, like it's a brand or something. Um, anyway, build a brand. That's the next thing I should do. No, no. No energy for that mess. Anyway, this is the box it came in. If you've got anything from Carnad'ache, you know that their way they ship products is like gold star, because the way each pencil is in this individual foam, and then the box, it's just, you know, when you get maybe any age, but when you get to be my age, you really get like, man, this is a nice box, I should keep it, for something. And then down the road you have 20,000 really nice boxes, and you don't, you know, they're all sitting there empty. So this is a really nice box, and I don't want to throw it away, but I don't know what to do with it yet, so we're gonna have to see. But I did put them in a case. I think this is the right one. Yep. I can actually swap these back because I'm done with the picture. Actually, I already did a picture with these, so look at me. But they're beautiful, kind of a matte finish on the barrels, hexagonal barrels, and yeah, I'll do the rest of that later. Now here's the swatch. Their colors, like, I was really kind of hoping they would have consistent color names across like their pencil sets, but it doesn't look like that's the case. I don't know, these might match up with their Pablos, this might match up with one of their other pencil sets I don't have, but these are definitely different than like the luminance colors, so I had to buy a separate swatch chart for this one. I couldn't do the by color family. But this served the purpose of at least getting the colors down. Really nice set of colors. Like I said, my only complaint at this point is I wish there were more pencils. I feel like when I get my sets that are like 70 something, I just wish there was like 30 more colors to choose from. So same with my pastel pencils. Colored pencils, maybe not so much, as long as I have a base color from something else. 70 something can usually work pretty well, but when you're using it to build your base also, I just wish there were more colors. But I love their blues. I love these kind of green colors here, and they got a lot of browns, as you can see, and skin tones. Surprisingly, not as many greens as I would expect. Usually sets like this are really heavy on the greens, but I'm not seeing that here, and I'm okay with that. I love green, don't get me wrong, but like oftentimes I feel like they sacrifice purples and oranges for more greens, and because I don't color as many landscapes and I tend to color more like using vibrant different colors, I would rather have the purples and the oranges. So, but like I said, everybody's different, and fortunately there are different sets that fulfill different needs. I'd already done a picture out of Easy Summer. This was a color and chat a few weeks ago. This is by Joshua Dunbar, and I did this picture. So I used the Museum Aquarelles as a base, and of course I'm going to hold it like this so you can see there's a little more color saturation. My light usually tends to wash some of it out. This is a very subtle shading. I used just the Museum Aquarelles on the base, just one color to activate, and then filled in the rest with using the Derwent pastel pencils for shading. And I love how this page turned out. I didn't pre-treat the page. I wanted to find a watercolor pencil that would give me intense color, but I find that on, you know, Amazon paper, the less water you use, the better off you are. You can see even with the little bit of water I used, it still got a little crinkly, but the paper was not fragile at all. I just find that watercolor pencils usually, if I don't pre-treat the Amazon paper, watercolor pencils are the best way to use water on a Amazon page without it becoming really fragile or so I did that, and I love how this turned out. I was almost just going to leave it with just the watercolor pencils. Like, I felt like the color was so saturated, but I'm glad I went around the edges with the pastels just to give it a little more pop of color. But I wanted this picture to be soft and not super vibrant. I did. This was the most fun I had with a picture probably this year. Immediately wanted to do another one after, and then work and life got in the way. So hopefully I can do another one before the end of the month, but you will definitely see another one of these, at least one of these, for watercolor summer. So yeah, I'm really pleased with them. I feel like their color saturation is fantastic. Like I said, they are definitely on the pricey side, but I could see using these quite a bit. I love all my watercolor pencils, but for pages that I want just subtle shading, and maybe I don't want to do a lot of layers with pencil or anything, some of them that don't have a saturated color I'll use as more of a base for like pencils and other things. But like if I just want to color a page with the watercolor pencils, like I'll be reaching more towards for like the Aquarelle and the ink tints and those, which I don't like how ink tints does on the Amazon paper as much. If you watched Watercolor Summer, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, I think it was last year, I went through a lot of pages with water and like 50 jungle miniatures, and yeah, I just don't like how ink tints does on the paper in big areas. So, but those did really well. The only weird thing, by the way, so if you do this on Amazon paper, I don't know about any other paper, if you use this on Amazon paper, be sure, I used a water brush, the Arteza water brush pen, to activate it. I didn't use like a watercolor brush. I noticed that when I put the pastel back over it, I was getting really scratchy results over areas that may not have been fully activated with the water, which is weird and not something that I usually run into. And so I don't know if it's the paper, because some people have said the new Amazon paper's a little like the paper's new. I don't know if it's just the paper being weird, but if you do activate it with water, just make sure you activate the whole area. If you're going to put other things on top of it, make sure you just activate it thoroughly. At least that was what I was seeing with this one. So there we go. Does that conclude my watercolor related section? I think so. Well, the other things I have technically are water soluble. But I think, yeah, so let's do these real quick. I like coloring the Eclipse books with the dots, and Heather, I think, hopefully I said her name right. I am not doing well this morning at remembering anything. I am not doing well. My brain is just going, nope, not allowed to remember anything. I just want to give people credit. Okay. Well, I think her name was Heather. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. I can't find it now. But she suggested dot markers, and I found the Shuttle Arts as a 24 set, and sorry these are not packaged. I have actually been using these, and I really like them in the books. The only thing is that I can't just use these because of the colors. They don't line up with all the colors that they use in the books. However, she also mentioned that Kuretake does a series of Kuretake. Is that right? Zig. Man, I'm having some real trouble remembering anything today. I think I'm right. Has a series of dot markers that are some different colors. And so I might invest in like one or two of those to try out, and to complement the colors I already have, and basically build a set I can use in those books. But these are water-based, and they're dual tip. So these are the Shuttle Art ones. You've got the, my goodness, you've got the dot side. And of course these work good for journaling too, which I could totally use them for. I don't know why I didn't think of that till just now. And then they've got like a fine tip point side, which is 0.5 millimeter. I typically don't use the fine point sides, so. But yeah, those have worked really well. You definitely want to dot them and not like scrub them on Amazon paper, because any water-based marker will pill the paper if you scrub it. So you definitely want to dot, but these seem really saturated with colors, so they are working pretty good. All right. I had to make a list. Because I wanted to make sure I got through everything. Dot markers. What do I want to do next? Let's do paint markers. So let me get set up for those and some of my other stuff. Be right back. Alright, next up we've got some different types of markers, and I just had already put these up because I thought I had already filmed this, but I'm redoing it. And so I just brought out a few of each one to talk about. So a couple months ago, you guys know that one of the big things I'm trying to do is find things I like to use in my Disney books that aren't pencil, just because it wrecks my hands to use pencils that much. And I bought the Pitt, the small brush tip set a couple months back, and those work okay. The tip is a lot smaller on them, so they don't cover as much area. So in those really big spaces, I don't like to use them as much. I also bought the I just had the swatch in my hand, the Staedtler dual tip markers, Staedtler double-ended fiber tip pens, and I've used those. They're water-based, and they work pretty well too. I was trying to that quest to find something that's smooth, that doesn't leave a lot of lines, has been very difficult. This one again does well in small spaces, but in the large spaces I find I have to do the, up and down with the line to create at least a line pattern that looks consistent. They don't just fill the area solid. Those work pretty well. My biggest problem with those is they're not numbered. I had to try to number them myself, and of course all the stickers are coming off. So I don't know how good that swatch is going to do for me long term. But still continuing that quest to look for what I can use. So I picked up 3 new things to try, and one I know works. So I mentioned the small Pitt artist pens. They have the regular brush tips. They also have a set. They also have some that are in the big brush. Now, not all of them are. On their site, I bought these on their site because they were on sale. And I think there were only 28 colors. I wish they would make them in the entire set. I really like these. I have used these in the book, in a Disney book, and I like them so much better than the small ones for the big areas. So I've got a few different colors here. I'll show you the color chart in a minute. But like I said, compared to the little ones, it's a big difference in the brush tip. And I think they call these water soluble, but like I've tried and I'm not having a lot of luck. So there is the big brush, there is the regular sized brush. And also, these colors don't names, a lot of these color names don't match what's in this box. So I don't know if they're an older product. I don't know if they're a new product. I hope they're not an older product, and I hope they're not going to discontinue them. That's like my biggest fear. But I can't find these in a set, so Faber Castell had a sale on their site a month or two ago where they were marked in like half, and so I was able to order all the colors I wanted from their site, and got them at a pretty good price. And I'll show you where I've used some of them here in a minute. Then there were these, and I think Krista's Art Corner is also responsible for these. These are the Goldfaber Aqua Dual Markers by Faber Castell. The highest count I could find is 24 colors. These are a water-based marker. You have the big brush end and then the fine tip end. These are supposed to be like comparative to Tombows, but the color saturation is supposed to be superior in these, and so that was what intrigued me, as a water-based marker with a lot of color saturation in it. So I bought some of these as well. Let's take a look at the swatches. So in the big brush set, like I said, it was 28 or something like that. These are the colors that I got, and like I said, I just bought all the colors they had. I had gotten 4 or 5 to try. I liked them so much, I just went ahead and ordered every color they had. So this is all they have for now. Again, don't know if that's going to be expanded. Hopefully it's not going the opposite direction. And then the Goldfaber Aqua markers, I've swatched those as well. And again, I really like the color saturation they have. So the thing I'm curious about is, so these were, their price points higher than even like this in the US, the Staedtler double-ended fiber tip. The colors seem similar with a lot of the darker colors, the saturation. So what I'm curious to see is, like, are these superior to the others, or are they just about the same and just priced higher, right? Like, I mean, basically that's what I'm gonna test out. Alright, so let's move to the acrylic markers. So these are new for me. I've seen a bunch of people talk about these. I really hope that's somebody that's just banging around in the neighborhood. I'm hearing a bunch of banging sounds. The way things have been lately, I don't know if it's banging or bang bang being out here in the country, so hopefully it's the first one. I had a comment to make about recent events, but I'm going to leave it alone. Anyway, so I had gotten this set. It's the 32 color set. I do still need to swatch these out, and I'm going to do that here in a minute. But it's got a brush tip and a fine tip, and it does already have a swatch, so part of me wants to be lazy. So these do need to be stored horizontally. You know, I think we're just going to use this swatch. So these are the colors here, and you got, you know, it's 30 colors, so your colors are a little limited. You've got like an orange, a red orange, and a red, a dark red, kind of an apricot color, a light orange here, a lemon yellow. And so here are the markers. And these do have their codes on them, so you can match them up to the swatch. Yeah, we're just gonna be lazy and just use the swatch that comes with them. So like, well, let me do this. So here is A59. Was it olive green? So not quite as dark. That's the one downside. Okay, yeah, I am going to swatch these out because I want accurate colors. That's the one downside to the Disney books is you want to get as close to the colors as possible, and I don't always do well with that. So they come in 2 boxes. So there is that set. Now, foreshadowing, I'm going to go ahead and tell you after, because I'm going to show you a couple Disney pictures in a minute where I've used these. I like these so much that I went ahead and bought this set during Prime Day. And, hang on. These are probably what I'm looking for. They're the smaller brush tips, so, and I don't need the fine point tip. I'm not going to use that, so I'm perfectly okay with having more of a brush tip. These seem to come with more, like, pastel-y colors. Oh my gosh. Arf. There we go. And, let's grab... I feel like these are a little bit bigger round than the others. So 2 things. One, I love that you don't have to prime these. They're already ready to go as soon as you get them. And not like a paint marker. And when I prime the paint markers, they tend to dry out faster, which is why I'm not going to swatch the paint markers you're going to see in a minute, and you'll know why. But they're already primed. They don't create lines, and my biggest concern is just how long are they going to last, because they just don't seem like big markers, right? Like I wish I could get like this with a paint pen, I guess like a Posca, but it would have a brush tip instead. That would be ideal, but I just don't know how long these will last. So let me swatch these real quick, and then we'll show you what I've been doing with my last couple Disney pages. Alright, so I swatched these out. So again, in the 32, the black box set, you get these 2 sets are a little different. They're the same type of marker, but they're, well, like they're both acrylic paint markers, but the black box has the black pens that have the brush tip and the fine tip. These are 32 colors, and they have numbers, so you're able to swatch those and match them to the numbers. That's your color variety up there. Then this 30 set does not have numbers, as I found. The pens only have the brush tip. They're a little awkward to get out of the box. And these do not have any number or code on them, I don't think. I think that's numbers the same for all of them. So what I'm going to have to do with these is keep them in order in the box. With it just being 30, I don't think it's going to be a problem. This is the best way for me to store them anyway in the drawers I have over here. Now you'll notice the colors down here have more of a pastel tone to them, so you've got a lot more lighter colors down here, and then the 32 sets a lot more dark colors than pastel-y. So depending on what you use them for, what you need them for, you'll get more of a color range if you have both. Just keep in mind the differences between the sets. I have no notes on longevity yet because I just started using these. But I like the fact that these are brush tips. They don't feel as awkward as the paint markers with the brush tip. And like I said, the fact that you don't have to go all the trouble priming them and stuff is huge for me. Anybody with like hand or wrist tendonitis and carpal tunnel type issues, the less work you have to do to get a pen or pencil going, the better, the easier it is to use overall, and less likely to cause flare-ups. If if I'm sitting here priming 80 markers, I might as well just forget doing anything else that day, because my wrist and my elbow and stuff's going to be sore. Alright, so let me show you some of these things that I just showed you. The Pitt pens and the... So this is currently, all the Disney books I have, this is currently the only one I'm working in, which should surprise nobody. So I've used different things in here. Like I said, just trying to find the thing that I like the most. I used water-based markers here, the Ohuhu, I think. Similar to like Tombow, I didn't really like how they created the lines on there. This one was all Prismacolor pencil. This is the smoothest to date picture I've done. And darn it, it's just, and that figures, because it looks great. This one, actually, I should show you. Yeah, let me show you these first. Oh, bait and switch. Hey, I didn't show all the watercolors. I've got another thing of watercolors to show you. I told you they're scattered everywhere. Alright, so when I'm using paint markers, like the big bullet point type paint markers, the ones I found that I like the most, that seem to work best on that Disney paper, are the Arteza ones. So I bought the, this is the Premium 40 set, which I think I already had, so I bought another set of the basic colors. This shows you back here. So we're going to look at this swatch. The thing with paint markers is you have to prime them and pump them to get the color going, and the longer I wait to do that, the less they'll dry out. I've had the other ones for a while. I honestly don't even know if they've dried out, but just trying to make these last as long as possible. But you just have a lot of classic colors through here. It seems like you have a lot of soft, like yellows, not a lot of reds or pinks, which is a little surprising. Not a lot of blues in this one. A lot of blue greens, some greens, looks like very similar browns, and then dark grays and blacks, which Disney books tend to have a lot of those, so I think that'll come in handy. I think this is the set I have. Wow, they're all just kind of jumbled in here, aren't they? So let me take one out. These look different than mine, so they might be a little different. Yeah, they've got the color number on them. The other ones I have. The old set I had, which I stuck over here. Can I reach it? That's not the drawer. That's not the drawer. That's not... Okay, well, anyway, the ones I have the color number on them, and the design is different. So maybe they've updated this and this has different colors. But anyway, I got the 40 set. These are the big bullet nib, which is really good for filling in large spaces. Hopefully, and now everything's bright again. I hate the lighting in here. Hopefully these last like the other ones have. Even though they've been redesigned. I do like the size of these, and I feel like the paint, you know, will last a while. So I got the 40 set, the classic set, I guess. No. I am all kinds of screwy right now. Chaos reigns. This is why I don't... I need to stop waiting so long to do these, because everything gets everywhere, and then I don't put it up. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm telling you wrong here. This is the 40 bright colors. This is the set that I bought before. This is, yeah, it's the same brand. It's the same look. So I bought another set of these. These seem like they're packaged a whole lot better. They have the color number and the name. So these are your bright colors. They look like they pop into a little thing there. Did y'all even see that? I am all over the place here. Oh, that one looks like No, I think that's just the color of the nib. They also come with replacement nibs. I don't know if these do, but the other ones do. So here are the swatches on the back. You get pretty much a mix across the board, plus you get a bunch of fluorescents, which, like, if you're using these to paint rocks and stuff, I can understand why they add the fluorescents in, but me, I would rather they added in the other colors than fluorescents, but I get why, right? Like I said, a lot of people that are using these, they have a gold, bronze, and silver in this as well. This is, I believe, what did they call this set on the site? I think it was like a landscape set. I'll link to it. Portrait and Earth Tone Collection. There you go. So different set of colors. Weird set of this is a good time to look here. I'm just spot checking here. A200, A203. So I don't know if all these are completely unique colors to the original 40 set, but just at a glance, it doesn't look like there's a lot of overlap. There might be one or two colors, but I don't even see any so far that are overlapping. Yeah. Probably the only one that's going to overlap is well, even the black doesn't overlap. So, I would have to swatch these side by side to tell you for sure if these colors, that's so weird. Sorry, I hit the mic. This one's packaged like really poorly compared to the other one. I don't get it. But anyway, there we go. Lighting's a little bit better. There are your colors. That says A606. That says A501. Fluorescent yellow. Yeah. But that looks like a fluorescent. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one day if I swatch them out, I'll show you. But like I said, I like these so much in the Disney books that I just got both sets. Because I'm going to wait to prime them till I actually have to use them. Hopefully these will stick around for a long time. And for some reason, Arteza sent me 2 boxes of the bright colors, which means I have 3 sets, which means I don't know what I'm going to do with another set yet. I don't know if I'm just going to hold on to it, or I guess I'm going to start really using these and see, you know, like, if I go through them a lot, and it'll also impact like whether my other markers, because I haven't used those in a while, are dried out or not. So okay, back to this. Sorry, because that's in here too. So I really should do a video that just shows like the different things I've used in the Disney books and what works for me and what doesn't. So water-based markers like Ohuhu brush tip, water-based markers, Prismacolor pencils. Like I said, to date, that has given me the most solid, consistent look. These are Arteza paint pens. Almost all Arteza paint pens, but I do think I come in here with a Prismacolor pencil for a couple of the shades that I couldn't replicate. I think it was mostly Arteza. I had a couple other brands, but they've been really drying out on me, so I'm really thinking I'm just going to start tossing those. This was Prismacolor pencil with the Arteza paint pen background, which did this kind of weird. So it gives me a solid background, but sometimes it just it leaves a weird texture. These are the Staedtler dual tip fiber pens and the original Pitt pens brush tips, which I didn't think I would like this picture because, you know, it created that kind of line pattern because they're not super saturated. But honestly, in looking at this, the more and more I look at it, I like it. But I used one of the Pitt pens to do this background, and they're so small, I know I'm going to burn through those. That's the reason I got the big brush tips. And so on this page, I used some of the big brush tips, some of the Staedtler, and got the big brush pens give me a little more saturated color. So I do like those. And finally, on this page, I used the acrylic paint markers on the background and on certain areas of Nala, I think's her name. I love these. I didn't know what I was doing with them over here, which is why it looks a bit streaky, but once I started getting the hang of them, I think I like those the best in terms of coverage and ease of use. And then I used one of these for the coat color, and again, not super saturated over the big areas, but honestly I'm pretty pleased with the paint markers and the and those markers as well. So I'm probably just going to keep using a combination of everything. It will be really telling how long the acrylic paint markers last. For the black line fill-in, I typically use a Pitt Artist pen, the brush tip. But I am finding that, like, if I use paint pens over that, it tends to want to bleed. Weirdly, that one tends to want to streak a little. So I'm almost thinking I'm going to try the acrylic marker black over on this page, which is one of the kittens from, I can't think of the name, the Aristocats, I think. And see, it's got a lot of pastel colors, so I think I'll be able to use some of those. Anyway, just wanted to show y'all, like, the different looks that you can get. I think with water-based markers, you're gonna have, even if they say they're saturated, you're gonna have some sort of lines. I've seen people who have figured out how not to do that using, like, satin glazing liquid, using a certain method for putting multiple layers of the water-based marker over. So there are some tips and tricks to get a smooth finish out of a water-based marker. If I can find one, I'll link it in the description, but I just don't have the patience level for that. Plus, I feel like if I'm using layers and layers, I'm going to burn through my markers really quickly. So it's just finding a compromise between the finished page, the ease of use. But I mean, none of these are bad. They're all awesome pictures. It's just been interesting the amount of time I've had to spend on a lot of these. A lot of it's the color matching. Like, oh my gosh, I just need like double of everything to even get close to the colors. Like, they're not all color accurate by far. At this point, I've just had to accept I'm going to get as close as I can, and if they look a little off, then that's just the nature of how things go. Unless I have 300 acrylic marker pens, I don't think I'm going to be able to find every single color I need. So anyway, so there are those. That was a pretty long I guess I was showing you a lot of different things there. Of course, I'll have links in the description. And now I have to figure out where to put all these. I think I'd love to start another Disney picture this weekend, but I have so many pictures I need to start. One watercolor thing I missed that I just realized. Tammy had gifted this to me for my birthday. Back in May. This is another one of the watercolor confection art philosophy sets, and this is the current set. I think I have the vintage one, and I think she gifted me that one too. Is the only other one I have. And so I did cover these in a Happy Mail, and they're all over the place because for some reason I guess I need to tighten the little holders in here or something, but whatever. I'll figure it out next time I use them. Here are the swatches. So these are like my jam colors. Like anything that's a dark blue or purple, blue or green, I just love. Probably some of my favorite colors overall. And so this is a great combination of colors. I need to try these soon. I'm definitely thinking an ocean type page would be ideal for this. Something to do with water, or nature, I guess. And so just got to find the right page for them. I also want it to be a page that I treat with satin glazing liquid, then try these, because I tried them on an unfinished Hannah Carlzon page, the vintage set, and I wasn't really pleased with the finish I got. But again, Hannah Carlzon's paper is extremely textured, so I want to see how they do on treated paper. So that might be something good for August or September. July is looking pretty booked up, so we're just making this one big long video. Oh, well, okay. So I got a couple things. Let's do the washi tape. Let's do the washi tape, because that'll be easy. And then we'll finish up with the pencils, and I think that'll be everything. I think that'll be everything. And I am never waiting this long again. Never waiting this long again. So yeah, I know I have like a whole drawer full, at least 2 drawers full of washi tape. I get some from the site Hubman and Choke Girl, which is what I use for my journaling stickers and my washi tape. I get specialty washi tape from them for their themes. They're just very nice high-end tapes that are very sparkly. I have sets like this that I buy all the time from Amazon, like I got a solid color set. I don't use washi tape a ton in my coloring books. I should use it more often, but this is kind of a coloring book slash journal planner piece of the haul. So when I went to Too Many Games outside of Philadelphia at the end of June, there were a couple people who are actually selling washi tape, and I was so happy, and I bought some. And I wanted to advertise their sites as well, because they do pins, they do stationery, they do stickers. And so like I found this cute little Halloween themed one. I don't know if you can see it because it's shiny. There you go. Okay, it's upside down. So you got like a little pumpkin, and a little mummy, even a spider, but I'm okay with that. Y'all know how much I love Halloween. This was from Dressy Deer, and so here's her information if you want to go check her store out. I tried to keep everything with a separate here so that I could mention which stores I got them from, which vendors. I got these two. These are from Rotoodle. I think that's right. This one's a space-based one that's black with like a shiny, almost iridescent silver. And it's actually a really big, thicker washi tape. And this one's just I call this the extra one because it's got the nice kind of watercolor wash background with the gold dots. And it just feels very luxurious. These are from Rotoodle. Not sure if the thing will work through the screen, but looks like they're on Instagram, TikTok, and Etsy. I'm gonna need to save these so I can go like their pages. And then this one, did I write? Okay. This one is from Lion Around Sewing. So Lion is spelled Lion. So Lion Around Sewing. And then of course this one, we had a cat's one. Y'all knew I was going to get something that was cats. And then this one, which is little gummy bears. So I'll try to link to at least one of their Instagram or their Etsy or something in the description. But I just wanted to give the vendors credit for that. So yeah, like I needed more washi tape. And then during Prime Day, there was a washi tape set that I got that I should have already opened, because opening stuff on here is awkward just because it's always loud from all the plastic wrapping. Okay, here we go. So these are smaller, some of them. Like, you've got the really tiny ones here. You got like little doggos. I don't know what that is. Little flowers, rainbows, what looks like sheep. There's a cat one, some really small, thin ones. And then you've got two medium-sized ones that were just super cute. They're all kinds of animals. Like this one at the end here is cats, of course. You've got bears. They're all in different, I think, foxes. No, doggos in that one. All kinds of different little animals. And I just thought these were really cute. So yeah, I picked up more washi tape. Again, I should be using washi tape in every single one of my journal pages. Every single one. Even if it's not themed to the month, I need to just use washi tape. Because I'm never going to get... I restrained myself and at least got just this one set. But man, I am running all over the place with washi tape. Alright, so next up, we're doing these that just came today. I had been thinking about these for a while, just like the other pencil set I'm going to show you. And this is 24 pencils. I thought I saw somewhere where there was more, like a bigger set, maybe at one time, but like I can't find it now. I think it was on the Amazon UK site, and like, of course it says unavailable now, so either it's something they're going to do or it's something that they did and they discontinued. So the Graphitint are tinted graphite pencils. These have like a more muted color and like a deeper color, so a lot of times, depending on the pencil set, you may not have that deep kind of color you're looking for like your one of your 2 or 3 pencils that you're using the shade, or 4 or 5. And so I wanted to try these. These are also water soluble, which I think is interesting as well. So as you can see, I just got these today, so I haven't even opened them yet. Trying to carefully open the plastic without stabbing myself. There we go. Man, I need to go get some more coffee. I'm feeling pretty decent this morning. I have been trying meditation and deep breathing exercises when I go to bed at night and I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go back to sleep. They're channels, they call it hypnosis, but I don't know if I believe that. I just would call them meditating videos. They're good calming videos, and I've been watching, there's a couple people I like watching on there, and honestly I think it's been helping my resting heart rate. Like, I'm actually getting some numbers that are going into the 60s during the night now, and I've been battling with some issues. I have to go to the doctor to do a telehealth appointment Tuesday to talk about a few things that have popped up since I've started trying to be less stressed. My tension in my chest is fighting with me, and instead it wants to be sore and tight. And I have costochondritis chronic, and so it's been flaring up real bad. But anytime you say chest pain, people freak out. So I'm going to my doctor, and I have an appointment with my cardiologist at the end of August anyway for a checkup, so I am going to get it checked out. All's well. Anyway, these are pretty and shiny. They've got like a silver finish on them. So this is like an autumn brown. These would be really good. So these are colors that I wouldn't typically use. I don't like using a lot of pastel. I don't like using a lot of deep muted colors. I like using bright, vibrant colors. So But after 5 years, I am trying to expand a little bit here into more pastels, more muted types of colors. So let me get these bad boys swatched out. Sorry, that is noisy. Do I have one that still has water in it? Yes. One thing I want to try real quick though. Do I have scrap paper? No. That's a thank you. Okay, we can use the back of this card. I was just curious. Now, water soluble doesn't necessarily mean watercolor. So while you can pull them usually with water and move them around, you're not going to get like the ability to really play with them like you would. Oh, wow. I say that, but these suckers totally dissolved in that water. Did you see that? Isn't that pretty? Ignore the cat hair. Isn't that pretty? My gosh. My lighting's having a fit today. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what is the deal here. Anyway, that just dissolved entirely in that water. I think this is the autumn brown. Alright. Prime it up. Look at that. I was going to say usually water soluble means they don't entirely dissolve like watercolors, but holy tamale, those like totally dissolved. And that's such a pretty, oh my gosh, that opens so many possibilities for base colors. Like I could basically use these as watercolors as well, and it opens up a whole lot more possibilities for like I said, colors, especially like the Aquarelle ones. These don't seem like they're too washed out either. So yeah, I'm real excited about these. So let me get these swatched out, and then while I'm doing that, I'm going to swatch the next pencil set out so we can have them and be done, and I can try to finish this up. Be right back. Alright, so the 24 set of Graphitint pencils, I did just slap down a quick swatch. I actually really need to put them on some better paper and then maybe keep them in the tin. I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet. Unless I get like one of those roll pencil pouches. I hate to just leave them in the tin, but there is only 24 of them. So, Graphitint, by the way, I just wanted to stress this before I showed you this. So, I'm talking about using them with my other colored pencils, which I assume I've seen other people doing it. But, I do want to note that these are a different type of pencils. So, you have pastel pencils, where pastel is the product that's used in the pencil. Then with your colored pencils, typically those have some combination of like an oil, the pigment, a wax is also in there, and depending on the type of pencil that colored pencil that you get, it could be more wax or more oil based. So graphite, by the way, it's a carbon basically used to manufacture pencils compressed with clay. So just passing a little bit of knowledge on to you. But just keep in mind, they're not like your typical colored pencils. These are a different type of pencil. I think usually when people sketch, they use graphite pencils. So like in terms of how long these last and so on, I couldn't tell you. So these are just copy paper swatch. I was fighting with my printer. I wet the second half of each swatch just to show you what they look like water-based. Honestly, I mean, I'm definitely going to use them as regular pencils, but I already have an idea for something I want to use them with where I'm activating them with water. So we'll see. It'll be curious to see, you know, on the top of them, as long as I can color with other types of colored pencils, it should be fine. But we're going to test these, so that's exciting. So is this still drying? I don't think so. Actually, I should just keep this swatch with my other pencils I'm going to show you in a minute, because I'm going to try to use them together. Look at me being efficient. Anyway, these are real neat colors, colors that probably aren't in my typical colored pencil sets, and definitely not in my water-soluble watercolor type pencils. They're probably close to like Inktense type colors, which makes sense because this is from Derwent. But I would be curious to match these up again, like the Derwent Light Fast. We're watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and if you've ever watched it, like, they have a thing about tongues. Like, it's just blah, 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 like at least one. It's like a bingo card where, you know, you got at least certain things that happen in every episode, and I don't know what it is about the creator's obsession with tongues in that show, but it is truly, the name of that show is very appropriate. Anyway, light fast pencils. I have the ChromaFlow pencils. I have the Derwent watercolor pencils. I don't think I have any of the other types of Derwent colored pencils. So be curious as to how these match up and complement those sets, as well as other pencil sets, of course. But those are the ones I can think of offhand that might be similar in colors. Okay, last pencil set, and I believe this finishes this. I think at this point it's going to finish it, because if I find one more thing I gotta swatch, y'all. The swatches are useful and they're necessary, and I do them on here because I'm gonna need them anyway. But they're just, that's what slows me down so much. Alright, I surprisingly do not have a set. The extra bright is driving me nuts. Driving me nuts. Is that a little better? Sort of. Okay. Well, I think that's as good as we're going to get. I do not own a set of metallic colored pencils. And so they were running, I think, a deal on the Castell Art metallics. I do like the Castell Arts. Color, I saw someone get those recently. I kind of thought about those as well, but I have the Castell Art pastel tint pencils as well. I like their pencils, so I figured I'd get the metallic. And the one thing I really like is they come in their own case. Like, the happiness of which they came in order of swatching too. So, like, yeah, that won me right there. But it was a good deal on them. And so I have a set of, it says 48 plus, which I'm not, oh, it must be 48 plus all this other stuff because it comes in a case and everything. So it was a really good deal on the pencils and the case. And it's kind of hard to find a 50 pencil case unless you use one of those roll-up ones. So here are the pencils. They are shiny silver, and they're in, at first I thought they were out of order and realized I had messed up how I swatched them, and you'll see that here in a minute. So, like most of the Castell Art products that come in these cases, and they make them as well with the tins, they send a bunch of fun stuff. Talks about using metallic pencils, blending mediums. So as far as I know, these are not water soluble, but like you can use rubbing alcohol with these, and it says breaks the pigment down best when there's a whole lot of pigment to work with, which is interesting. I don't know if I've tried rubbing alcohol on any type of pencils before, so this is interesting. And then some of the different things there. So a nice little booklet. They have steps to create the sea eagle on like dark gray tone paper, and also this cool looking tiger that you can download the template for. Yeah, so neat little booklet. here's the step-by-step to creating that eagle on, I think it's like gray pastel paper or something. Maybe one day, who knows, right? I can dream big. Break down the different types of products that they have. You get a white cartridge paper sketch pad. There is a black tone paper on here, which I think will be interesting to try with the metallics. And then I don't know what this is in the back. I don't want to crack this open. I have like 3 or 4 sets of these, and I need to do something with them for sure. But I went ahead and used their swatch card, as you can see. And when I was putting them down, they definitely had a sparkle and a shine to them, and you can see here. I love the colors. As metallic pencils, I feel like these are kind of muted as well. So I had an idea. I have a vision. So I am part of Hannah Lynn's Patreon group, and I subscribe to the, I think it's the silver or the gold level, the one that gives you the grayscale images. So she usually provides 2 images a month if you're a silver member, and if you're a gold, you get both those images in grayscale. And this was her calendar month image, this lady in the canoe. I've seen such amazing versions of this picture, but y'all know what I thought when I first saw this. Like, just beautiful women in the canoes and just such a pretty little forest. Like, I have a vision that this is like the lady of the lake who, like, I don't know, something happened to her in the lake, so she's got kind of the zombie skin tone going, and like this is a dingy little boat, and the woods look kind of dark and spooky. Everything looks muted, right? So I'm thinking of combining my Graphitints as a base and using my water brush on them, and then going over the top either with a combination of colored pencils and metallic pencils, or just the metallics. I don't know how just the metallics will look. It might just be too much shine, so I might use it like in particular here on the boat, maybe a little bit on her skin and like in the water, and then the rest might just be regular pencil. I don't know, we'll see. But that is an idea I have. I don't know if I'll get this month. I've got other pictures I've really got to work on before the end of the month. So this upcoming Watercolor Wednesday will probably be the tarot page I showed you if you were looking at the watercolor section. And then the next watercolor picture I do is going to be this. So not only are we going to be using water with the Graphitints, but we're also going to be trying out 2 new products I bought. So this is really exciting for me, y'all. Like, I don't normally do this. I buy stuff and it just sits there. So I feel inspired, and so I'm really excited. But yeah, if you want these pictures, definitely there's this one, and then the girl that's like traveling, she's got luggage and stuff, a real fun picture. They're always available till the end of the month, so as long as you subscribe to her Patreon at that level before the end of the month, you can get those pictures. If you're a member and you miss out on the downloads, and she can verify you were a member that month, I've heard people say you can email her for them if you miss out on the downloads, but you've got to be a member that month at that tier to get those pictures. But I think even at the basic tier level, you get a line art version of her 1 monthly picture. So I really enjoy it. I've been a fan of her Patreon for a while. I keep seeing the pictures and I'm like, oh, that'd be a great picture to do this month. And then bing, it's gone out of my head. So this month I'm going to really try. Well, technically it's going to be next month, but hey, I'm getting to it. It's a process. I'm evolving. So I'm going to keep this swatch in here. In fact, I'm probably, like I said, if I keep the Graphitints in their tin, I'm probably going to make another swatch that actually fits in there. Okay, I think we're done. I'm done. I really need to go to the store today and get some fruit and stuff because I am still trying my healthier eating, though I am going to splurge and probably get Sonic today. I haven't had it in 2 weeks, so gonna go get me some cheese sticks and a cheeseburger, like my favorite go-to things, and then we're doing fajitas for dinner tonight with some skirt steak. So let's see. If I get so inspired, there might be a non-coloring haul tomorrow. I would like to show the other stuff I bought for Prime Day, other recent buys, and then like the stuff I got in at Too Many Games that's not coloring related. We might do that tomorrow. That might be fun. I might take a shower and take a shower, like, you know, it's a rare event or something. I'm not going to put any makeup on, let's be real. But we might make that a front-facing video. Y'all, we haven't done one of those in a hot minute. Just something fun, a little different for those of you that like Lego and other hobbies. That will be a fun video to watch. But for those of you that are just here for the coloring stuff, ain't going to hurt my feelings if you don't watch it. We're going to see. We're going to see tomorrow. The tarot page I'm going to try to do Wednesday for a watercolor Wednesday color and chat, and then we'll go over, like, you know, putting the watercolors on the page, and you'll have to go back to the end of the Dreamland Watercolors section to see that picture. If you missed that, it's a little sneak peek. Next Friday will be a flip through. Alexandra Frenzies has a new mandala book out called Y2K that looks very fun and is right in my wheelhouse of being a 90s kid, early 2000s in college. And I'm supposed to get my Disney books next week. I got tome 10 of the Color by Numbers, and then it's a Lyrica book, not Disney books, because the other one is a mermaid book. And I know I'm not a big fan of mermaids, but Tammy from Tammy Colors too. Everybody say it with me. She is my numero uno enabler. We're also really good friends. We chat a lot through the week. We're both really busy, but we do a lot of buddy colors and things like that. I feel like I talk about her all the time, which is nothing wrong with. But you know, if y'all were wondering, yeah, we're good friends offline. I'm hoping we have an opportunity to meet. And if she's listening, I was going to surprise her this year, and I was going to go to Gen Con. But it snuck up on me faster than I realized, and with the cats being sick so much this year and stuff, it's been hard to do. But she usually goes to Gen Con every year, her and her husband. And I wanted a chance to finally meet her in person. And Gen Con's like a 4.5-hour drive for me. And I always wanted to go anyway. It's a big tabletop and gaming convention, or like board game convention, I guess. But I'm not going to be able to go this year. So I'll probably message her today and say, yeah, this is what I was going to do this year, but it's probably not going to happen. Unless the cats just suddenly, I don't know, they've been doing really well this week. Yeah, well, I would have had to tell her one way or another, because I would have never found her there. Otherwise, like, it's pretty big. It's bigger than Too Many Games. Thought about sneaking down there for a long weekend. But I don't even know if she's going this year, so I need to ask. And, yeah, so I don't know where I was going with that. Right. I saw the mermaid book on her channel, and it is adorable, so I had to pick it up. I have 2 Coloring Heaven editions coming. They're both collections, I think. One is the newest Adorable Animals. The other one is the Seasons one by Ellie Marks. I don't know when those will get here. Sometimes it's been 2 or 3 months. Sometimes I've gotten them in like 2 or 3 weeks. It seems like it's gotten better lately. So I don't know if I'll have those next week, but if I do, I'll just roll them into Friday. Or any other books I might pick up, if I get the points. Sunday will be probably completed pages for the month. I'd rather do that and wait and do the live stream the next weekend, and go ahead and get the end of the month stuff out of the way. We might stick another video in next week if I feel so inclined. The next weekend, the weekend of, I think it's August 5th, is that Saturday. Well, unless I'm at Gen Con. If I'm at Gen Con, you're gonna get a pre-recorded video. But if I don't go to Gen Con, I might do a live stream that weekend. So we'll see. And then I'll do the Graphitint metallic pencil picture the Wednesday before that. So that's kind of like how the next 2 weeks are going to go on here. I'm feeling very motivated to do videos. It's just finding the time. I have other ideas for videos as well that I might stick in there as we go along, like that Friday after the start of the month. You know, I've got some other ideas. So you're going to see a lot of videos from me the next few weeks. Feel free to watch as many or as few as you would like. And yeah, so I'll do the non-coloring haul video tomorrow because it should be fairly quick. And if I'm using my camera, my less editing needed and stuff, I'll probably do that tomorrow. And then, yeah, we'll just keep on going. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a lot of different types of products. And now keep in mind this was over what, 3-4 months. So didn't just do all this in the past month, but that's what it is anymore. I have the bulk of my collection built. I'm just buying things that, you know, like with the Disney books that are going to help, you know, see if I have better luck with those, with some of these paint markers and stuff. Or like I'm still waiting on that 100 set of Derwent. I'm still waiting on those new Derwent Inktense pencils. I'm not going to spend $80 to get them from, like, is it Cult Pens or wherever that site is. I'm not going to spend the money to do that. And I'm certainly not going to spend Amazon US $250 on the 100 set of Inktense, which is the 72 original pencils and then the other 28. Absolutely not. That is insane. If somebody else wants to do it, I am certainly not going to tell. I have no right to tell anybody else how to spend their money. But what Michelle's not going to do is spend $145 more for 28 pencils. Because that's basically what it is, because the regular Inktense 72 set's like 100 US or something. That is what Michelle's not going to do. She'll drop crazy money on Aquarelle pencils, but it's the per pencil price, right? That's where things get a little bizarre. But yeah, just things like that, additions to sets. I would buy the full 100 set because that would give me backups on the majority of the Inktense pencils. But it's got to be like way lower than that. I feel like that's taking advantage of people, and that really just burns my bottom. It just like a whole lot of things right now. Just really. If I could just have a whole video of what is really grinding my gears lately, I would probably lose half the subscribers on this channel. That's why I try very hard not to put my own personal non-coloring views on this channel very often, except during my live streams. Then it's kind of fair game. But you've been warned. Okay, that's enough. If you've stuck all the way through this video, man, virtual cookie to you. Yeah. I mean, I would have done it if it had been somebody else, but that's just me. Anyway, hopefully you were coloring something. Hopefully you found something you were interested in. Definitely share your experiences in the comments with any of these products, like things you found works well with them, what doesn't. Your own views of some of these products. Just let me know. And yeah, I feel like I did good for Prime Day. Like, we got this, and I got that other set of Arrtx art markers and the washi tape. So about 3 or 4 coloring related items. The rest was non-coloring. Like Lego had a sale, and Lego never has sales. So this year was the year of the Lego for me, and that's what y'all will see tomorrow if you want to take a look. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. Hope you're having a good weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.